Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Whitfield Report live on this Thursday night. It's an hour later than I wanted it to be. I was planning on starting it at 8:55 instead of 9, but or closer to 10, but I digress. Anyway, folks, I am back here tonight. So thank you for joining me on this fine Thursday evening. And yeah, it's good to be back. And as always, contact info. If you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you can do so by following me at SamDeber_NGC, hashtag Whitfield Report. I posted some photos of my trip on Instagram, so you can go check those out. I'll be posting more from the trip as well from Instagram. Believe me, I've got plenty of photos to post from the trip in North Carolina. You can follow me on Gab, and also you can follow me on Minds now at Sam Whitfield. I finally got a Minds account. So I actually do like Minds, despite what some people are saying. You can visit my website at thesamwhitfield.com, facebook.com/The Whitfield Report, and always thanks for subscribing to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you get your podcast from, and thanks for all the new YouTube subs. And also, I also want to give a quick shout out to Johnny Diggs, who gave me a very generous PayPal donation on Saturday evening when I did the, pre-taped show. But anyway, thank you, and thanks to all of you who are chatting in the chat as well. So. Anyway, folks, where do we get started? A lot to cover tonight. I guess the first thing I wanted to cover, and I'm not really sure where to begin with this, but over the weekend, Johnny Arcade, his channel disappeared, and I was getting messages from some people asking where Johnny is and why his channel is gone. And so that's the kind of the elephant in the room. I'll just answer as best as I can from what I know, and suffice it to say, nothing really happened. Johnny just decided to take a break, and a well-deserved one at that. When you've been clipping Owen Benjamin every day for a year or so, it wears on you. And all I can say is that Johnny's done great work. I know that he really appreciates every one of you who has supported him. And I mean, if he wants to come on here and if he wants to come on the show ever and have a chat with me, I'm always happy to have him on. But I don't want to speak for him, but I just think that from what he's told me, it's just time for him to take a bit of a break. Maybe he'll be back one day. Maybe he won't. But whatever the case may be, I know that he really appreciates everyone supporting him. And the other thing that he's told me, and that he's told others as well who do content specifically with me, is, there's no reason to just clip Owen 24/7. I'd like to think that I've broken the Owen cycle a bit in my own show. I've finally gotten out of that vortex, finally, after all this time, where I'm able to talk about, more topics than just Owen. And because, believe me, it does get grating. And now, with all that being said, I want to address the Bears who have been, tweeting me and saying that, that they took down Johnny, or some of them were bragging. They did it. They stopped Johnny Arcade. No, Johnny Arcade just, as I said, took a break of his own accord. He's out there like a ghost, and this isn't a victory for Owen. I don't really know what it means for Owen, but what you Bears have to understand too is, Johnny is not the only one who watches Owen anymore. There's Apex Gamma out there. Shout out to Apex Gamma. Shout out to Apex Gamma Reloaded as well, which is Apex's new channel. There's Alan Powell, of course. One Step Too Far. And obviously, I've been watching Owen a bit too. So, yeah, I think Sirio in the chat said it best. Johnny Arcade is a state of mind. Johnny Arcade is now a force of nature. Johnny Arcade is not just one person. Johnny Arcade is a movement now. That's what Johnny Arcade has done. So he's not gone. He's just out there. Well, honestly, he's with me now, kind of. And he's very thankful for your support. So, Johnny, wherever you are, I hope you're, enjoying, I hope you're enjoying, like, a cold soda or something, wherever you are. I know you don't drink, but, I'm raising a tall glass of water, to you, 07 to you and wherever you are. Also, I want to cover the Owen Benjamin dad stream too. And I predicted that this was going to happen. I've predicted, and what you have to understand is Owen does know who I am. Because originally, when I was part of theirs, one of the people who, brought me into the Bears wanted me to do some collab work for Owen. And so I'm not sure if Owen really ever really checked out any of my work himself, but I do know that he knows of the Whitfield Report, and he and I did have some interactions. At the time, they were friendly. He and I haven't interacted, since all this happened. But the one thing I can tell you is, it's almost like Owen timed the dad stream to go on vacation, for me to go on vacation. Like, he timed it for when I would be traveling and really unable to do commentary on it. So, I'm not going to play clips of the stream because, A, I don't have any, but B, there's no point in me playing clips. Here's the bottom line, and this is something that I've realized recently. One of the reasons, and I guess the biggest reason why Owen has frustrated me, aside from the gummy thing, aside from the false accusations of the DZ, one of the things that has annoyed me about Owen, and it's not just strictly about him, but it's about other commentators too, but Owen is kind of the worst example. He's trying to be like a hero or a savior type for the new conservative movement or whatever, right? It's interesting because in the culture war, obviously the left is out of hand. There's no denying it. But I think one of the big problems that we've had, whether it be Owen, whether it be Milo to a certain extent, or to Gavin, is, right, these hero type figures, right? If we give money to Owen, he's going to help, fight the culture war. He's going to be our hero. He's going to be our shield that we rally behind, right? I've heard the Bears say that Owen's a hero, which is laughable. Even when I liked Owen, I would have never considered I would have never considered him a hero, so to speak. I would have considered him a guy who did wacky comedy and, he had some what I thought were interesting things to say at the time. But that was it. This whole notion of hero worship has gotten out of hand, right? It's very idealistic, in a sense, that, we're going to save America. And we're going to save Western culture, or we're going to fight back and own against the libs in the culture war by rallying behind these heroes. So, people think that supporting Big Bear or supporting Mike Cernovich or supporting, any one of these people is, some equivalent of being a hero, and it's not. And believe me, when I was a teenager, and when I first started the podcast, my first podcast, the Whitfield Analysis, I was 14, I was idealistic. I saw the culture war coming, and I'll admit I was kind of idealistic then, and I thought that well, maybe if I can be a voice, for the conservative youth, I can change things. I can lead a coalition of, conservative millennials, and we'll change the world. Well, then, life hit me, and I realized that, here I was trying to be a quote unquote hero is overrated a bit, because you're never going to please everyone, right? And I've also noticed with like when you get people who do think you're a hero, which I don't think I'm a hero per se. I'm just a guy who likes to talk politics and popular culture, and I have, my opinions and viewpoints, and I think I certainly want to, fight for the liberty movement and whatnot. I don't think I'm the chosen one or anything like that. I think the liberty movement is a lot bigger than just one individual. So, and I know I'm kind of jumping on here, but I guess that's my point, is I feel like if Owen were serious about the liberty movement, which he's not, he's obviously, a lot of these content creators now jumped on kind of the MAGA train just to make, bucks and PayPal, money. It's well, quite honestly, it's baffling. But how does this connect to Owen's dad stream, you ask? Well, it has a lot to do with Owen's dad stream. Because, given the fact that so many bears consider him a hero, he can do weird stuff like that with his, fans or fanatics. But I can also, okay, so to me it's weird that he did that stream to begin with, right? It's weird that he chose such a public format to lambaste his dad. It's not surprising given what Owen has done, but it's weird still. I mean, given what Owen said about his dad being gay, here's the other thing too. Given what he said about Johnny and everything else, and about the DZ, and about numerous other individuals, lying about them in the past, I'm not really sure I believe anything Owen says about his dad. His dad could be a terrible, horrible person like he says. Or his dad could be the exact opposite of everything Owen has claimed and be a super nice guy. And, Owen could just be lying. And I'm kind of, based on past experiences, I'm kind of, leaning on that assumption. But regardless, one of the things that is weird to me, and I've never seen any other content creator really get away with this before, is it just seems weird to me that any content creator who wants to be taken seriously would air their dirty laundry, would air their private, family dirty laundry on the internet. like that and still be taken seriously. I would never do that. And look, I've had disagreements. I've had struggles with relatives. Um, you know, like there was a point in time where my dad and I really didn't get along. We were kind of at odds end with each other. Fortunately, our relationship has improved a lot over the past couple of years. But I would never blast my dad or any family member on air like that. There are just certain things that I don't think you should do online, and airing your personal vendettas like that is just it's classless. And so I guess that's my overall point with the with the stream. Sierra says Sam Owen is lying. He said his dad's financial advisor found out, and then suddenly everyone knows. Right. Well, I mean, so again, we don't know. Like we're on the assumption that Owen is lying at his dad in order to what? Gain sympathy. But yeah, that like I said, it's just the whole thing was just sad to watch. I wasn't sad for him. I was sad more for his. I was sad for his dad, but more than that, I was sad just for his family, because he's now using his family as, a spectacle. Anyway, I just think that, when you do stuff like that, it really discredits you. When you air your personal dirty laundry like that on air. And look, I get no one's perfect, but really, yeah. And I mean, the Fuentes thing, that's probably why Owen did it. I get that. But still. So, my point in all this, my whole point with the hero worship is I think it's one thing to admire people, right? I think it's one thing to look up to people and to recognize, the people you like do good things, but Owen is not the messiah of the conservative movement. I'm not the messiah. Cernovich isn't. Gavin's not. I mean, the closest thing to, I guess, a hero in the conservative movement would have been, in recent years, Andrew Breitbart, and he's dead now. But to all of Owen's bears, and particularly to Owen's younger fans out there, you want to actually change the culture for good. You want to do something besides hand your money over to someone who's just using it for personal gain. You pick up a video camera, or pick up a microphone, and start doing activism in your local area, and doing citizen journalism yourself. If you really want to change, work with your local campaigns to be effective. But simply giving your money to a guy who's going to scream about the moon and make racist and bigoted profanities. That's not activism. That's not changing the culture. That's just a waste, honestly. So, what else can I say? It's it's Owen. It's a never-ending rock. It's a never-ending Ferris wheel with him. I would say it's a roller coaster, but honestly, it's a Ferris wheel, or whatever the thing is where it goes around in circles. Right? Nothing's interesting. It just goes around and around, and he'll say something edgy and provocative that he probably shouldn't. Then he gets banned from a platform or something, and then screams about how he got banned and now he's a free speech warrior, which, by the way, is another thing you shouldn't fall for. And then he just bitches and moans and gets more people to give him money. And it's an endless revolving circle. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, just be smart. Don't be dumb, and don't be a bear. So, I'm reading the chat here. So let me scroll up. So you guys are being funny as always. So Alyssa, did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than Ingle because you are the wind beneath my wings. Oh well, that's sweet of you, Alyssa. That's very sweet of you. And I try and be honest. I try and be inspirational. But don't make me into something that I'm not either. Because believe me, if you're going to worship me and pretend like I'm the best thing that's happened to you, and then get angry at me when I don't fulfill your exact expectations, that's not on me. That's on you. And so just if any people are still watching out there. So and OJ's white Bronco is partially right too. What can I say though? The Dangerines and the Dangerous love me. So, especially the Dangerous though. Okay, let's get into some serious topics. So, and I will mod, I will mod, Farmer, because the Farmer deserves it. He's been a savage before the savages even existed. So, yeah, I'm working on it. I will mod, Rad. But, anyway. So, in regards to political news of the week, or I guess political news of the day, Jeffrey Epstein apparently attempted to commit suicide. And I don't want to take up too much time with this, but here's my whole thing on Epstein. He, Epstein is a piece of shit, and he should die a slow and painful death. Believe me, he's not going to, he's not going to be, going anywhere anytime soon. Like, he's guilty, obviously. But, on Twitter today, I've been seeing from all the Trump people and from a lot of MAGA people that, well, this was obviously, Epstein. Epstein is obviously on the Clinton cartel's, he's on their hit list now, and the Clintons are suiciding him. And this is a point I specifically want to bring up because in 2016, I would have believed that maybe that was the case, but here's the reality, folks, when it comes to the Clintons. Hillary lost her bid for the presidency in 2008 and 2016. She's lost the bid for the presidency twice now. She's not going to come back. Right? People have been saying that she's going to run in 20. She's not going to run. The Clintons have no more political power, basically. The Clinton Foundation even shut down now. Now, believe me, I'm not saying that I think that the Clintons are good people or anything, because they're not. They're horrible. And above all, that was my main argument for, voting for whoever the Republican nominee was. Because in 2016, I knew that Hillary was going to be the nominee. And, I was saying that whoever the nominee was, we needed to support them, whoever they were, because I knew that Hillary was going to be the nominee for the Democrats. And, then once Trump entered in the race, I, figured, like, he was my first choice, but even if you're not a big Trump supporter, the one thing that I think Trump's done, which I think we can all agree, a good thing. He basically took the Clintons out of politics. And that's no small feat. So the reason why I say that is, now that the Clintons have no political power, why would they still be suiciding people? Like, what would they have to gain from suiciding Jeffrey Epstein and whatnot? So, by the way, I'm trying to mod people in the chat. So, okay. Oh, I was in the wrong profile. So, okay. Farmer, welcome to the mod. Welcome to the mod squad, Farmer. Now get back out there and till the get on your John Deere and till the field. So yeah, not go to prison. Not destroy their daughter's political career. Yeah, evil. I mean, so. So, if the Clintons were indicted, they're not going to go to prison. And even if they were to go to prison, they'd probably have like a super nice prison, like Pablo Escobar did. Right? So prison wouldn't really be that bad for them. Second, in regards to not destroying their daughter's political career, I don't know if Chelsea is going to have a political career. I don't know that she wants it. She probably does. But here's the thing, too. The left has moved so far left now that the Clintons are not going to be viable anymore. Right? Like, and I've even asked some of my peers at my college who are pretty far to the left. I've asked them, like, hypothetically, would you vote for, Chelsea Clinton if she were to run? They've all said no, and when I've asked them why, they've all said it's because she's a Clinton. So, I don't think that I basically just don't think that the Clintons have any more political viability. Therefore, they really have slim to no reason to kill Epstein these days. And besides, it's not like, I doubt that if the Clintons did kill people, which they probably did, I doubt that it was something that they openly discussed at, Epstein's island. Right? Like, they did pretty disgusting things, but I doubt that the Clintons would be stupid enough to tell, Jeffrey Epstein, a schmuck, finance seer in their eyes, that, hey, we suicided all these people, right? Like, I doubt they would confess to all that, to this Jeffrey Epstein guy. I also, the other interesting thing is if you go on over to liberal Twitter and you check out what the libs have been saying on Twitter, they've all been saying for months and months that, that Trump was on Epstein's island too, and that he would want to kill Epstein and have him suicide because of Russia and all that stuff, and because, according to the left, Trump is a pedophile. But as we've seen with the Mueller case, that was a nothing burger. The Russia collusion case was a nothing burger. All of the alleged sexual assaults that were all the alleged sexual assaults that came up during the election were nothing burgers. And so obviously this is just the left trying to paint Trump into the whole Epstein web somehow. However, and El Jefe brings up a good point. Moreover, if Trump had been on the island, it would have been on the news. Yeah, it would have been on the news already. But he wasn't. But I will tell you who could be killing Jeffrey Epstein or trying to suicide Jeffrey Epstein is Hollywood. And I don't know any specific names, but basically Hollywood. The casting couch, cabal. Like, yeah, Harvey Weinstein is being investigated, but, I think he's been to Epstein's island. So he, Harvey Weinstein or a guy like Harvey Weinstein probably tried to have Epstein whacked in prison or something. So it could be the Hollywood establishment, it could be the mob. Those two are interchangeable. Bottom line, I don't think it's Clinton, and it's obviously not Trump. So neither of those two things happened. So yeah, Trump doesn't need to go to the island to. Yeah, exactly. Well, and Trump doesn't like them that young either. Right? Like, Trump might be a dog, but he likes that. He likes women, not girls. So, and that's definitely one thing that Trump and I have in common. So, Jefe, that could be another thing. He could have staged the entire thing to get better living quarters. Yeah, I mean that's another possibility. I mean, there is a possibility that Epstein really did try and commit suicide. So, there could have been a possibility that he tried to commit suicide because he heard that Savage Sam was going to pay him a visit, and that thought terrified him even more. Because Savage Sam does not like I don't like people who hurt children or people who hurt women. And in the case of Epstein, he's scum, and he's the lowest of the low. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who would love to do certain gratuitous things to Epstein. So basically, though, think of like an intense interrogation scene from 24. So, he wouldn't be getting any conjugal visits from me. The only conjugal visit he would be getting from me would be would be a conjugal visit from like from a desert eagle. So, and probably like probably a military knife if I had my way with him. But yeah, I mean Epstein is just a disgusting piece of crap. I I really think that lethal injection or even the gas chamber would be too good for him. He's this is one of those rare moments where if I were like running things, I would defer to Jolly Roger's billet washer, one of my trusty mods and also one of the savages. And I would tell Jolly to get medieval on Epstein's ass. And that would be the end of Epstein. So, on that rather gruesome note and whatnot, that actually does it for tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry to leave it on such a gratuitous note. But anyway, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight for the Thursday show. It was kind of impromptu. I didn't really have anything planned out. But I'm thankful to everyone who tuned into the program. I want to thank you all for watching. And I will be back on Saturday. And I might be having a guest. I don't know. We'll probably be talking at the Mueller stuff, plus a couple of video clips that you guys have shared with me and more. So I will be back on Saturday evening, and I want to thank you all very much for tuning in to the Whitfield Report Thursday edition. From all of us here at NGC Studios, good night, God bless, and God save this great nation. And sorry to disappoint you, OJ, but there was no shirtless Sammy tonight. So also Johnny Diggs, I do want to give a shout out again. Thank you for the PayPal donation last week. I really appreciate that. 07 to you and 07 to everyone else in the chat. Hangout stream tonight. I don't know. I mean, I know that Nightwave is on, and I know that people are probably not too thrilled I'm streaming with Nightwaves, but with cross streaming, but it is what it is. So I might have a hangout stream later. We'll see what happens. So alright. God bless and God save this great nation. Everyone, I will for sure see you guys on Saturday evening.